Here is a little bit of a hint to get you started on some of the problem solving in lesson 6. So let's take a look at the first question in the learning guide. Pretty much we've got a word problem that's just describing a rational equation and we're trying to put it in equation form. I'm going to let x be the integer. So we know that dividing 30 by 1 more than the integer is going to be the same as dividing 24 by 1 less than the integer. When we know it's the same, that's really just saying it's equal. So let's try and get this in equation form. Dividing 30 by 1 more than the integer would be 30 divided by x plus 1. Okay, dividing 24 by 1 less than the integer would be 24 divided by x minus 1. And we know that these two things are the same, so we can set them equal to each other. And just like that, we already have our rational equation. I'm not going to go ahead and solve it all the way. I'll leave that for you to do. But if you need kind of a first step, a good thing to notice might be we have two different denominators, but we really only have one term on either side of the equal sign. So perhaps multiplying across would be the easiest way to solve this. By that, I mean cross multiplication. So 30 times x minus 1 is equal to 24 times x plus 1. Okay, from there you can expand the equation and solve for x to find your integer. I'll leave that for you to do. Okay, feel free to pause and finish solving this one if you want to. I'm going to go on to example 2. Okay, question 2 in the learning guide. We're going to use the same tactic that we used in our Zoom meeting and set up a table to kind of organize our information. I have thrown in a useful formula. So we have the formula distance is equal to speed times time. Usually we see it in a different form. Speed is equal to distance over time. Today we're going to be using it in its third form, where time is equal to distance over speed. And you'll see why this is useful. Let's start off by just filling in what we know from the problem. So Helmut and Ellie agree to meet at the auction in Vancouver. Helmut travels 120 kilometers, so that's his distance, 120. Okay, in the same time that Ellie travels 114. That's her distance. We don't know either of their speeds, but we know that Helmut's rate of travel is 5 kilometers per hour more than Ellie's. So let's use the variable x, or the variable of your choice for Ellie. Helmut would be x plus 5. Okay, the last thing we know is they travel for the same amount of time. So that means whatever the time is, it's the same for both of them. Now this is where that formula comes in handy. If time is equal to distance over speed, we can set up a ratio for each of Helmut and Ellie. 120, our distance, over x plus 5, our speed. Similarly, 114, our distance, divided by x, our speed. And since we know that those times are equal, we can set these two times equal to each other. 120 over x plus 5 is equal to 114 over x. Okay, I'll leave it to you to solve the equation from that point.